your modifications, but as far as the aspects that you're not asking for a modification for, just so we can confirm that you believe you can meet that.
Sure.
I know that your application, but for the residents that are here, for the board that might not have been able to look at that, I know on your site plan, if we went back to the site plan, I think you also go through that in the right-hand corner of
Yeah.
the site plan.
It'll be on,
Go back to that.
yeah, it'll be on the first page. Page 1.
And then the right-hand corner.
Yeah, the top right, yeah.
If you could scroll it. You see that we have there, all the A through.
Yep, right there, yep.
So again, as we confirm, this is permitted as a conditional use, subject to subsection 19 of the conditional uses of the township code. The minimum site area required shall be 2 acres. You're indicating it's over 3. It's excess.
Correct.
So that's not a problem. The site shall have frontage on and direct vehicle access to an arterial collector street in the township. Your note indicates that you're actually going to be coming into Hidden Hollow. And as the board is aware, the public might not be aware, but that is under an agreement right now with Scarmazzi, Paul Scarmazzi, as part of their PRD site development, in which they are bringing Hidden Hollow up to public township specs. Is that correct, Sean?
That's correct.
And so at that point, will this meet that definition as required by the township?
It would.
It would, okay. The vehicular access to the site shall be limited to one two-way or 2 one-way driveways from each collector street. Again, we just have one of those, and your site plan meets that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so D is one of the modification requests, though. All interior driveways shall be paved with an asphalt or similar surface sufficient to, for the loads the driveways are expected to bear. You're requesting a modification that it remain gravel.
Correct.
Can you touch on that a little bit more?
Yeah, we feel that it's gonna be a minimal vehicle access, it's gonna be limited, the gravel is sufficient to, maintain integrity for the anticipated loads.
What are the anticipated loads? Just regular truck or vehicle traffic
Yeah.
to and from the pods?
Yeah, the trucks to get the pods in and out.
Michael,
Yes.
point of clarification on that third one. I do believe they're requesting a modification to allow single lane vehicular traffic in and out.
To C?
Correct.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the modifications actually, the requirement's 24 feet, we're requesting a 4-foot reduction to 20 feet.
So is that considered a single lane down to 20, or is that still sufficient for 2 vehicles to pass? I guess what's
The way the ordinance is written, it would need to be 24 feet wide to be considered 2-lane, is my understanding of it. So by reducing it to 20 feet, it's just a really wide single lane.
Can you just speak that you don't anticipate 2-way traffic?
Yeah, I mean, the access would be limited. There's only one truck in at a time. If you go to page 3 on that, please, we'll show the vehicle turning arrangements. So there's sufficient room to get a truck, a flatbed truck in and out. As you can see, there's the 20-foot access limit is available for the turning movements to get on the Hidden Hollow. If there was, by some chance, 2 trucks waiting to one go in, one to go out, there's sufficient room to store while the truck comes in, and then the other truck can move out. So we feel that 20 feet is sufficient.
So is that your understanding of it, that there would be, if someone's trying to leave the site and someone's trying to turn on, based off of what that proposal is, the 20 feet, is there sufficient area to the left or the right of that?
My opinion is 2 passenger cars wouldn't have an issue. Additionally, with what they're proposing, I don't see it being likely that there would be 2 vehicles coming and going very frequently. Only 6 parking spaces is required, and there's how many storage units proposed?
55.
6 spaces for 55 storage units. I don't take any issue with their modification from an engineering standpoint.
Or from a safety standpoint?
Correct.
And sightlines, you don't foresee based off of the topography or anything, no issues couldn't see someone coming or not?
I don't have any, I don't see any issue with it from my point of view.
Just so the board's aware of that. Okay, we touched on parking, you're indicating that you can provide, you can meet the township code. Another modification you're asking is the buffer area A. Buffer area A requires that there be, the district can make 2 rows of plantings. Before, without reading all that, essentially you're asking that the wooded area to the northeast is already there, existing. Is that already in excess of the 2 rows that would be
It
required?
would be in excess.
So you can already meet that
Yeah,
above and beyond.
as long as the woods are considered, you know, a sufficient buffer.
And then the next one being the 8-foot high modification down to 6. Could you speak to that? What that request is? Has the applicant, have you had any issues with, access due to it only being 6 foot high?
Yeah, Bob, have you had any issues out there with access?
No, it's always been that way. The fence has been there for 50 years
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah, we feel that it's sufficient to restrict any access that needs there.
And it does actually have the things for barbed wire. You could go to 8 feet, but the barbed wire is not there anymore. The cyclone fence is 6 feet, then it has the things going up if you wanted to put barbed wire around it, but I don't see a reason to do that. We're not looking at a high security facility.
Will there be a gate?
Yes.
There will be, okay. So even if they could get in, they still gotta be able to get it. The vehicle would be locked if there's a gate or whatnot, someone would climb the fence.
Right.
If they would break into a pod, they
Right.
still, okay. Just so, maximum building height shall be 20 feet, you can meet that?
Yeah, I mean, we're not proposing any permanent buildings. Our anticipated storage height, portable storage units, 8 feet high. So that's-
You can meet all of the other length, distance requirements set forth in this code. What about the lot coverage? It shall be 40%, can you meet that?
the maximum is 40%. We're at 28% of the lot.
Okay. No office space, obviously, you indicated that. There will not be any water or sanitary to the storage units?
Correct.
Pursuant to the law. And then, one of the last ones, that you do need to request a modification for is a minimum of 1 fire hydrant. Again, you're requesting no fire hydrant. It's your testimony that there is an existing fire hydrant located approximately 600 feet away, which it's also your testimony that that is sufficient for, first responders, fire department to be able to access the site.
Yes.
Couple other items in the township code, obviously, it's your testimony, you can meet all of the other, outside of the modification, we'll touch on it again briefly, but outside of that, it's your testimony that you can meet all the other storage or performance standards of the township code?
General provisions, yes.
Do you anticipate any employees on site?
Just when the pods are being not the one permanent.
Okay, so we touched on the 4-foot reduction on the off-street parking. The other one is a non-striped gravel paving for the proposed entrance parking circulation. Once again, can you talk about that gravel as it pertains to your off-street parking modification requirement?
For the striping, it's pretty much, it's a general straight in, straight out. I don't think it's necessary to have turning movements painted on the gravel. There's sufficient room in the middle, so we're just asking for a modification not to have to pave the gravel, or to paint the gravel, I should say.
And same thing with the gravel for the parking circle, you're actually not to pave it at all?
Correct. Yeah, the gravel's in place, we'd like it to remain in place.
Do you anticipate any issues with dirt debris coming from the site onto the Hidden Hollow?
No, there's been no debris exiting the site currently, and with the proposed alterations to the site, it would remain the same, so it's not anticipated.
It could be, a township could require, one of the recommendations I would make to the township to consider is that in the event that there are issues with that, whether it be the gravel washing on the road, dirt debris, whatnot, that the township would be able to, reserve the sole right to require at least the paving of the apron, the access, the entryway, just to prevent that. That would be a possible, if it does get approved, see what happens, but if down the road, something were to require, maybe we would be required to pay at least a portion of it to prevent that. Lighting, you're proposing no lighting at the site at all, correct?
Yes, correct.
You said hours will be dusk to dawn. I guess my question is if in another month from now, another 2 months from now, it can start at 4:30. So is your testimony that there will not be access to that site past 4:30?
Can I answer that?
Yep.
Yeah, we can put a lock on there that will not open. We can set the times that the lock will open. So they won't be able to get in way after dark.
So if a condition of the approval is that is a condition,
Yes.
you're prepared to be
I
able
don't
to
have a
meet that?
problem. And going back to the one you just brought up, everything flows away from the road, so nothing's gonna wash out onto Hidden Hollow. But I don't have any problem with paving the apron coming in. In fact, I was gonna ask the developer, as they come up the road, they're gonna have to do something there. They can't just put a curb up in front of it. They're gonna have to, do something there for the access.
Will he need a driveway permit, or does he already have all that?
I believe by ordinance, any modification to the driveway requires a driveway permit.
Okay. So again, one of the conditions, you have to comply with any state, local, federal permits that you require. HOP, no, there won't be an HOP for this, since
It's not a state road, so an HOP would not be required.
and then the last modification you referenced was related to the storm management.
Yes.
Could you talk to that a little bit further?